Hey friends, last time we learned how to create a line plot, and it looked like this. Remember that we were trying to figure out the difference or the change of height that students had grown from one year to the next. So remember that we had seen that some children were a certain height when they were 7 years old, and then when they were 8 years old, they were a little bit taller. So remember that with that information, then we created this line plot. So it looked like this. So only one child had grown 1 centimeter. Only one child had grown 2 centimeters. Then there were 3 children that had grown 3 centimeters. Then how many children grew 4 centimeters? Let's see, we had counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children had grown 4 centimeters. So this was the line plot that we came up with. Now today, in your math journal on page 307, you are going to be completing a bar graph. And this is something that you have done before. You are simply going to fill in those boxes, or you're going to shade them in with the information that you have already filled out. So remember that last time you had to fill out this frequency table with tally marks. So it should have looked something like this. How many children grew 0 centimeters? 0 children. How many children grew 1 centimeter? Just 1 child. How many children grew 2 centimeters? Just 1 child. How many children grew 3 centimeters? 3 children, and so on. So you are going to use the information in this frequency table to complete this bar graph in your math journal on page 307. So the first thing that you will notice is these blank lines down here. Okay, so it says height changes, centimeters. So what you are going to write there is you are going to write numbers 0 all the way to 10, okay? Because that is going to represent how many centimeters the children grew from one year to the next. Then on the side, you can see that it says number of children. So we are going to be filling out this bar graph to show how many children grew how many centimeters. So for example, 0 is going to stay blank, because no children grew 0 centimeters. But how many children grew 1 centimeter? 1 child. Then moving on, how many children grew 2 centimeters? Just 1 child. And I am going to let you fill out the rest of this bar graph. Now, underneath your bar graph, you have some questions. The first question is, the minimum is centimeters. So remember that the minimum is just going to be the smallest amount or the least amount. So what is the minimum in that bar graph that you just filled out? The next question is going to be asking you about the maximum. So the maximum is going to be the largest amount or the biggest number. The maximum is centimeters. Now don't be fooled. You might want to write 10 for this answer. But 10 is not the right answer, because if you look back in your bar graph, remember that no children grew 10 centimeters. So 10 cannot be the maximum. 9 would be your maximum in this case, because 9 is the biggest amount of centimeters that children grew. The next question is asking you about the median. Remember that the median is the middle value, the number in the middle. Then you are being asked to find the mode. Now remember that the mode is the height change that occurred most often. The number that occurred most often, or that you saw the most times. What number would that be? And finally, you are being asked to find the range. So here is how you would find the range. You would take the maximum, which is 9, minus the minimum, which is 1, and that would give you your range. That's it, my friends. Easy peasy. So just work on that page, completing that bar graph and answering the questions below. Bye.